Hey you guys, it's Blondeberry. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see, we're in a little bit of ambiance. We're in a little bit of lighting, a little bit of a moment. We are at Still Lounge here in Raleigh, North Carolina, off of Millbrook Road. They are open every day, 11 to 12, but on Friday and Saturday, if you're looking to step out, looking to hit your hookah, they are open until 2 a.m. Check them out. As always, we are here to get into the tea. Sit back, relax, grab your drink, and let's get into it. Okay, first things first. You know what? Let's get this out the way. P. Diddy. P. Diddy has been seen with multiple women, multiple jets, multiple parties. Miami is still as beautiful as ever, enjoying her life. At this point, it's giving Bill and Hillary Clinton. It's giving business between the two. Is it not? It's giving strictly business between the two. But I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. But Diddy says R&B is dead. Is he starting an R&B label?
An R&B label and dropping an album.
I'm so tired of him promoting this song that helped him get over Cassie, I guess. Gotta Move On, is it? Is what he called it on Carisha Please podcast. Diddy, great. That's so great. Now all the R&B singers are responding. We got Jacquees squealing like a cat on Instagram saying R&B is not dead. And then we got Chris Brown saying what he said. Basically like pop music is what you hear more on the radio, but if you really listen to these artists' albums and you get into their deep cuts and their songs, R&B is not dead. It's alive and well. Even Avery Wilson has spoke out. Diddy, and also Diddy, you looking thick. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
It's love. It's love.
But you looking a little thick. He was going up the stairs to a flight private jet, and I was like, okay. What happened to 5K Diddy? It's like, remember he used to do the marathon, so I just always in my mind think that he's the super fit guy, but you know, looking a little happy there, looking a little like you're enjoying life. Good for you. Good for you. Let's talk about Meg's album. She just dropped an album. What did you think? Did you listen to it?
I liked it.
Okay.
It sounds like
here we go.
No, it sounds like they're holding back. So this one was the last album for Kyle Crawford.
It was?
Yeah.
Yes!
So I'm thinking Roc Nation probably got something.
I did not know that. Oh, I love learning new things. So now that you've said this, it makes me go, It makes a little bit more sense. However, the album was still good. The visuals are good. Megan, I'm happy for you. You know, some people think you're a liar. Some people think you're an opportunist. Some people think, very hateful things about you. I saw the interview you did with, is it Ebro? God help me. And I don't know the girl, but I watched the whole thing. Very touching when you're talking about your mom and your career. And I'm rooting for you. And I'm so glad this is your last album with those trifling. I'm happy for you. I can't wait for her to... her star about to shine even more. It's about to shine on, okay? So yeah, shout out to Meg. The album, I like it. Did you listen to Meg's album? I don't like that song. She said she paid $250,000 cash for Future's feature. Did she say that? Pressurelicious. My favorite song is I think it's Budget with Lotto.
That's a good one.
Right? I love Lotto. I love you. Love her. I went to some bar when I went back home to Maryland, and this girl was calling me Lotto though. And she was like, "You look like Lotto." Oh my God. Hilarious. But that's a story for another day. Yeah, Megan, I like the album, but now that you say that this is her last album with Carl Crawford's bald-headed ass, it has me thinking optimistically for her, and I can't wait. I can't wait for that. Oh my God. The backlash Beyonce is getting from Church Girl. Like, what? I am sick. I'm sick. Y'all had to put the hookah down. Juanita Bynum gets online and says, I think she was preaching or leading worship. I don't know. God help me. I don't know. I haven't heard of her in the press since it was discovered that her husband was abusing her. So I don't know what she has going on. I don't know if she's preaching or just whatever. She was in the pulpit. And now a lot of people are live streaming their services because of COVID and churches were closed down and what have you. So she's saying, Beyonce, secular music, basically condemning all these people to hell and you shouldn't do this and that. And then, on Twitter, they are messy. They tweeted a video of her dancing to some Mary J. Blige song. And I was like, what happened to that? And see, that is the problem. They want to be so quick to judge when the internet is a never ending thing. Like they have video of you dancing to some song. Like if you're going to stand on your word and say what you're saying about Beyonce and her sampling the Clark sisters, first and foremost, the Clark sisters approved the sample. If they didn't want it used, I'm sure they would have declined. And even Marvin Sapp was just seen in an interview and was asked about it. And he said he has no issue with it. He was saying how Kanye West and a couple other secular artists have sampled his music in the past. And I honestly think if you have anything negative to say, just keep it to yourself. Juanita Bynum, that was uncool. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't like that. Keep it to yourself. It was uncalled for. We didn't appreciate it. I don't know what point you were getting across. But we don't care. We're streaming Renaissance. I'm still listening to it. The album dropped 3 weeks ago and I'm not listening to anything else. What else is there?
Yeah, it's not a lot.
There's Traumazine, but that's it. And I'm gonna break it to you, Meg. Only played in rotation full one time, then I plucked out my fave 4 or 5 songs.
You really like 2 or 3 from me, yeah.
But Beyonce has me in a chokehold. Like I can't let it go. And we're waiting for the next acts. I don't know how many times I have to say we're waiting for acts 2 and 3. We are waiting. Moving along. Oh my God, Swiss Beats and Timbaland. They are suing Triller over verses for $28 million. And when I was at the crib, I was like, why is that? So why are they suing them for so much money? And then I had to be, schooled. I had to be explained that they basically low-key stole their content for a little bit without paying for it. So I guess at one point you were able to stream the verses on Triller, and I even streamed a couple of the verses on Triller. I put the app on my TV, and it was so much easier to do it than to be on your phone and trying to be on Twitter and see what people are saying at the same time. So I will shout out to Triller for that. It just made it more convenient. Or if you have Apple TV, I don't have time for that. I don't have Apple TV. You can stream it on, I think, Apple Music too. But it's like I'm shocked, but I'm not. And this is why. Because Versus came about during a time when we were boarded in our homes. We couldn't go anywhere. We were working remote. It seemed intimate to have the artists on the live and to, connect with them there. And then once they saw how many viewers came in, then they started thinking about the profits. And that is when things go awry. When you start to get greedy. Come on now, this is a sermon. When you start to get greedy, things will follow suit. More money, more problems, as they say. I'm just saying. So now that you guys have taken it to this height, to this level, you are now being, I guess, shuffled under the rug, and people are trying to go around you and stream on their service. You should have kept it how it was, intimate. It felt more genuine. Now they're giving full-on productions. We're not even gonna talk about the Ray J and what was it? B2, oh, not a B2K, Armari. We're not even going to discuss what a train wreck that was. But
we all believe it.
But Swizz and Timbaland, I wish you the best. I really do wish you nothing but the best. And as Diddy said, I guess you gotta move on, You gotta move on, sweetie. Y'all got a lot going on. Y'all should have kept it how it was. All right, before I get into the shows that I'm obsessed with, I need to talk about the Love is Blind divorces. But can we really say we're surprised? So first things first, Iyanna and Jared. Their divorce was announced first. I'm not shocked. Jared likes to go out. He still likes to party with the boys. Iyanna's very reserved. She's a homebody. And as we all remember, Iyanna was Jared's second choice. He was gonna go with light skin. What was she, Peruvian? I don't remember. Y'all watch the show, we don't remember. It was giving light skin, curly hair, Spanish, Peruvian, some type of vibe. He picked, was her name Mallory? It was Mallory. He picked her first. Now, after she denied him, that man cried. He had a pillow on his head and was like, embarrassing. And I'm sure that was so embarrassing for them to come out of the show married and then have to watch it back. And you see this man crying. You want to talk about opening another wound, and then you see this man crying over his first choice. I don't know about y'all, but I would have been embarrassed. I would have been, there we go, embarrassed. Like that's so embarrassing. Iyanna, embarrassing. So boom, they get married. Now they're announcing the divorce. I, however, am not surprised, and none of us on Twitter or Instagram were surprised either. And then days later, after Jared and Iyanna announced their divorce, Danielle and Nick announced their divorce. And we all remember what a train wreck that was. They were both polar opposites again. The girl, Danielle, she was more like eccentric. She, had a more like laid back life. Nick was very type A, very OCD. They got in so many arguments. I thought they were gonna say no at the altar. So not surprised. Lauren and Cam, y'all are our one true love. Like nobody will beat that first season. It's just, I don't know.
I was gonna say, do you think people are just kind of looking at it as a stepping stone?
It is a stepping stone. All reality shows are a stepping stone. Lauren and Cameron are the blueprint. They got married. Do you see them on this? They are doing things, okay? They are fully in media. They are doing it. They are at Essence Fest. They're getting interviews. They're getting deals. And Danielle and Nick, Iyanna and Jared, not surprised at all. Sad. Y'all shouldn't have said yes at the altar. That was ridiculous. Especially Danielle and Nick. Please. That was a joke from the get up. We already knew that. That was a joke. Okay, y'all. Lock and Key just dropped season 3. We binged it already. Was not my favorite season. Jamaica? Was it your favorite season? No. The writing was so bad, y'all. Like, it's like the last season of Game of Thrones, like where you just know, where you feel the difference. You know what I mean? Okay, I won't bring that up. Although House of Dragon's coming out this week, I think. You're not watching. It's like I want to watch,
They ruined it for me.
But it's like the Mike Tyson thing on Hulu. Like I want to watch, but Mike Tyson himself doesn't support that, and he has his own movies coming out. So should I?
He only supports the Jamie Foxx one.
It's like, dang, Mike Tyson, I want to be down with you, but I want to see the show on Hulu. I want to see the show on Hulu only because the guy that's playing it. Fine. Okay, yeah, Lock and Key season 3. I was very upset. The writing, the entire storyline of the 3rd season was very bland. The villain was aggravating. Bodhi gets on my nerves every season. He just does something unforgivably wrong. Like, I just can't get a hold on Bodhi. Locke, he drives me nuts. Did not enjoy the 3rd season, but if you haven't seen it, please binge seasons 1 and 2. Those were the best. Season 3 wasn't giving anything. It wasn't giving the girls anything. It wasn't giving the kids a thing. It was not entertaining as the first 2 seasons. Now, I have started Legacy about the Lakers on Hulu. Oh my God, y'all. My wig is blown back.
I enjoy it.
I am enjoying this. I love how they are telling the story. I love the editing. I love how they're setting things up. I didn't even know that about Magic Johnson, about the $25 million contract, and how close he was with the owner. And then they only aired 2 episodes, so I guess this week we're gonna get 1 episode, which is lame. Like, just give it to us. Just just give it all up front.
About the Last Dance, like just give it all.
Yeah, The Last Dance, they said that too. That was also good about the Bulls. That's on Netflix now if you haven't seen it. But I'm loving it so far. And I love the story they're telling of the kids and his family. But I can't wait. I'm sorry, I really want to know if they're going to talk about when Magic Johnson announced that he had AIDS and had to step down from the team. And
they may do that.
And because my mom was saying it was crazy I asked her all the time about, stories that we hear now that she lived. And I'm like, what was, she was like, oh, it was crazy. The players were protesting. So I feel like that is going to,
him and Isaiah Thomas.
Yep, him and Isaiah Thomas. So I personally can't wait to see if they're going to talk about that, truly. But just the clip, God, I wish Kobe was here. I wish Kobe, because he would be in it. And but they show so many clips of him. It's not the same. He should have, I hope they grabbed some type of, audio or something to put him in there a little bit. Okay. Lastly, oh my God, I'm done. The Untold Story. The Girlfriend That Didn't Exist. This is on Netflix. It is 2 parts. Binge them in the same night. If you watched it, you already know. Spoiler alerts coming up. I'm sorry. Manti Te'o, you are a victim. I don't like how the documentary tried to glamorize or really highlight the transition that Renaya made, because I, as a viewer, feel like it had nothing to do about Renaya trying to find herself and her sexuality. And I don't know her name now, but sorry, Renaya, I'm saying Renaya, but I do know she's now trans. But that pissed me off, and I'm sorry. This man at the time single-handedly a kid changed the trajectory of Manti Te'o's career. So if you watch the documentary, you will see that, he was catfished and he was so young and naive. And I think people are like, well, how could he believe? Because he was so young and naive, and he was so busy with sports and school that he thought this was his little outlet. This was, a way for, like he was 19, he was a child. So the people that judged him, the people that made those memes, that put him in the New York Post, that dogged him, that talked shit about him, on SNL and everything. If y'all saw the thing, I cried with him at the end when the therapist was like, but have you forgiven yourself? Because he felt like the world was making him feel like he was so dumb. Like, how could you possibly do this? Like, Manti Te'o, you are fine. You're physically fine. I don't know if I hope he's internally fine, but the man is fine. His wife is beautiful. They have a daughter. She's now pregnant with their son. I'm happy that he was able to move on and live a full life. And he did get drafted, but in the 2nd round. And I love what the reporter had to say at the end, the one with the blonde hair, when she said, she's like, okay, hindsight looking, if we're just looking in, okay, he got drafted, he made it. Yes, he made it into the NFL and he was able to, build a foundation for his family, yada, yada. However, if he didn't have that drama going on, if he wasn't drugged through the media, through the press, he would have got drafted in the 1st round, and that would have changed things for him globally, as far as brand deals, as far as sponsorships. That's money that just whistled away because Renaya wanted to sit in her damn room and lie. And you want to know what really got me? Is when he went on Dr. Phil. And Dr. Phil was like, so is you doing all those voices? And he was like, yeah, something. He was like, well, Dr. Phil was like, Dr. Phil said, well, we want to hear you do it. We want to hear you do it. So Renaya was like, well, I can only do it when I'm in a dark room, something. So Dr. Phil set him up in a dark room with a curtain, honey. And that is what really got me, because she was like, he released the voicemail, so now I have to answer to that. Yes, you have to answer to that. You have to answer to you ruining this man's life. Oh my God, I'm mad all over again. That blows my mind. I was extremely pissed. If you have not seen The Untold Story, The Girlfriend That Doesn't Exist, on Netflix, I don't know what to tell you. Run, don't walk. It is an incredible true story. I'm glad Manti Te'o was able to move on from that. My God. Y'all, that thing done tear me up now. All right, it's time to go. I got my blood boiling talking about that freaking show. Please watch it. As always, subscribe to my channel. You're here, we've laughed, we've cried, we've shared the vibe. Subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Instagram at Blondeberry Media for all things me, what I'm doing. If you want to be nosy, see how was my day going. And as always, you guys, I love you. I thank you for watching. And don't forget that we are here at the Steel Lounge here in Raleigh, North Carolina. It is off of Millbrook Road. They are open every single day, 11 to 12. But if you want to catch a vibe on the weekend, honey, Friday and Saturdays, they are open until 2 a.m. I love you guys. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.